All right, so we're diving deep into The Housemaid today. Freida McFadden's psychological thriller.
Yeah, this one's been all over. Like, everyone's talking about it.
Definitely grabbed me, that's for sure. Lots to unpack with the plot, the
Yeah,
characters,
this character's so complex.
and the themes, too. They really get under your skin.
It's interesting how The Housemaid fits into what's hot in thrillers right now, you know?
How so?
Like, readers are loving these stories set in normal places, like a family home, but...
But with that dark twist, right?
Exactly. McFadden takes that familiar setup and makes it, well, unsettling.
Yeah, from the start, we're right there with Millie. She's
Desperate, living out of her car.
willing to ignore those red flags just to get this job, be the housemaid.
Classic thriller trope, right? Unreliable narrator, creepy house.
You think it's cliche?
Not really. McFadden plays with those tropes, twists them, surprises you.
I see. So it's like she's using the familiar but doing something new with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so Millie starts noticing things at the house, things that are
Off. Just not right.
like her room, locked from the outside.
Uh-huh. And Nina, the lady of the house, accuses her of stealing.
Whoa, intense. But Millie, she tries to explain it away, right?
She's clinging to this new life, this chance, so she rationalizes.
I get that, wanting to believe it's all okay.
That's what makes it so effective. We're right there with Millie, wondering what's real.
And what about Nina? Well, she's a bit of a mystery.
Oh, she's fascinating. This mix of elegance, but also unstable.
Right, like specific chicken nuggets for her daughter, Cecilia.
Yeah, those little details, they add up. Then the rumors about Nina being,
A little off, that's what they say.
Exactly. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something's not right.
You feel that tension building already.
Definitely. And with Andrew, the husband, he seems charming at first,
But
but overly attentive to Millie, almost like he's, I don't know, testing the waters.
and his relationship with Nina, there are cracks there, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah, lots of tension. And then, bam, the revelation.
Cecilia's not his daughter.
Huge twist. That's where it gets really interesting.
Because suddenly his frustration with Nina makes more sense.
Totally. He's trapped, wanting a child of his own.
And Nina, she uses that, doesn't she?
Oh, absolutely. It's like she's got him right where she wants him.
So let's talk about the characters more. Starting with Millie, what struck you?
Well, she's not your typical victim, vulnerable, yeah, but also...
Resourceful.
That's it. And determined. She wants to survive. She's got this past.
Hinted at throughout, right? Legal trouble, rough relationships.
Makes her complex. You understand why she does what she does, even the questionable stuff.
I felt that desire for a fresh start, even if it means ignoring the bad stuff.
Totally. That's what makes her such a good narrator. We see it all through her eyes.
That hope, the fear, that feeling of being trapped.
And then there's Nina. Talk about unreliable. Millie's view of her makes her seem unstable.
But we're left wondering, right, is it really Nina, or is Millie projecting her own anxieties?
Exactly. McFadden keeps us guessing. Is it real or all in Millie's head?
That Arandino incident, that's what got me. With the blueberries, I mean.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
Nina insisting Millie's got the name wrong, like it's this tiny detail.
But it shows how Nina's reality is distorted. She wants to control everyone.
And she does, with Andrew too. He's caught in her web, right?
Totally. He's attracted to Millie, but terrified of Nina.
This whole book is about deception. Everyone's lying, hiding something.
Layers of it. Millie about her past, Nina her intentions, Andrew playing the perfect husband.
It keeps you on edge, never knowing who to trust, what's really going on.
And McFadden's good at that, keeping you in suspense, wanting to know the truth.
And the manipulation, it's constant. Nina uses guilt, fear, even affection to get her way.
Chilling to watch her manipulate Millie, making her doubt herself, turning Andrew against her.
It's not just manipulation, though. It's about survival, too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Millie's in this pressure cooker. She has to adapt fast.
Walking on eggshells, always anticipating Nina's next move.
It's claustrophobic, that house, like a symbol of Millie being trapped.
Like that locked room. It's more than just creepy. It's a reminder she has no control.
And that she's being watched, like a prisoner.
It's unsettling, to say the least.
So many moments like that. Little hints, clues, keeping you guessing.
Like Emzo, the landscaper.
Yeah, with that warning. Pericolo. Just one word, but...
But it sets the tone, right? Danger lurking beneath the surface.
Exactly. This seemingly perfect family, hiding something dark, back again, still digging into the housemaid. And you know that unreliable narrator idea.
Oh, yeah. Super important here. It's not just Millie in a creepy house. It's us wondering if she's reliable.
Right, right. So how does McFadden use that to make it so gripping?
Yeah, good question.
Well, think about it. We're seeing everything through Millie's eyes. The Winchesters, their weird stuff, it's all her perspective.
And she's not exactly the most stable herself, right?
Yeah?
Desperate for the job, could be seeing things.
Exactly. Is it really sinister, or is it her past trauma, her fear, making it seem worse?
Ooh, that's clever. McFadden plays with that. So we doubt everything. So it's not just Nina being unreliable, it's the whole story we're getting. Maybe distorted.
You got it. We're trying to untangle what's real, what's Millie's anxiety, and then bam, that twist.
Nina can't have kids. Changes the whole game.
Huge. Suddenly everything makes sense, her behavior, the obsession with Cecilia.
Those specific nuggets, it's all connected.
And remember what Nina says about Millie stealing her life. Takes on a whole new meaning.
Chilling. Millie, being young, able to have kids, it's a threat to Nina's world.
And the story goes from creepy to straight up terrifying.
Nina unravels, doesn't she? After that reveal, she gets worse.
Oh yeah, super suspicious of Andrew and Millie. The jealousy gets dangerous.
McFadden doesn't hold back, shows us how dark it gets.
The tension between Nina and Andrew, it's like a pot about to boil over.
And she plays him, right? Nina, using his guilt, his desire for a kid.
Like a twisted game, Millie's stuck in the middle.
Scary stuff, but you can't stop reading. You're rooting for Millie to survive.
We're totally invested in her, want her to escape.
The climax, though. Whoa. When Nina tricks Millie into confronting Andrew.
About his cheating, that was intense.
Leads to that fight, changes everything.
McFadden is a master of pacing, builds it up slowly, then bam, explosion.
You're left reeling like, what just happened?
And just when you think you've got it figured out, the big twist.
Millie, she's not who we thought, the mastermind all along.
Blows your mind. Victim becomes the puppet master, makes you rethink everything.
That's what makes this book stand out. Not just a good thriller, but unforgettable.
So smart, because it messes with our ideas of right and wrong. We were on Millie's side.
But now I see what she's done. Is it justice, or is she cold-blooded?
That's what makes the ending stick with you. No easy answers, just questions.
About justice, revenge, the scars of trauma.
Psychological thrillers, at their best, they linger, make you think.
We talked plot twist. But those themes we mentioned earlier, deception's at the core.
Not just lying, it's about the masks we wear, the secrets, the manipulation.
The Housemaid shows us that through their relationships, how it can be a weapon.
Or a survival tactic, or it can destroy you completely.
Nina's a good example. Her lies trap her in the end. A cautionary tale.
And Millie, she deceives to protect herself, fight back against the power imbalance.
Sometimes, to survive, you have to become what you fear.
That's deep.
It all ties into survival. Millie's always adapting, learning how to handle the danger.
Shows her strengths, but makes you think, what's the price of survival?
How far would you go? What lines would you cross? The book doesn't shy away from that.
It pushes us, makes us look at the darkness in us all, the compromises we make when things get tough.
So we see what happens, but where do they all end up after all the deception and chaos?
Millie, it's bittersweet. She gets her revenge, but at a cost.
She's seen her own darkness. The future's uncertain for her.
Will it haunt her? Or can she find a way to move on? We don't know.
Nina, she's broken. Her perfect world shattered, facing the music.
Tragic end for someone so obsessed with control, with keeping up appearances.
The Housemaid reminds us those facades are fragile. They crumble under the weight of secrets.
True, and Andrew, he's a pawn in both their games, loses everything.
Wife, home, even his sense of self.
Shows how anyone can be manipulated, even those who seem to have it all.
Makes you think about self-awareness, questioning what people tell you, recognizing red flags.
Especially in relationships, sometimes the damage is done before you even see it coming.
We've covered a lot, but what did you think? Did the ending feel right? Did you still sympathize with Millie?
It's effective because it avoids easy answers, leaves you uneasy, questioning if justice was served.
And that's the mark of a good thriller. It sticks with you.
Absolutely. And Millie, she's still fascinating to me. I got her, even if her choices were messed up.
McFadden makes you understand her why, even if you don't agree with the what.
It's that complexity that makes The Housemaid so good. It's not black and white.
We see the gray areas of people, what happens under pressure, the ripple effects of those choices.
And that's what makes us keep coming back for more, wanting to explore those dark corners of the human psyche.
Okay, so we've really gotten into the twists and turns, the characters, those dark themes.
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
But it's Hey Tubby, your Freida McFadden writes
Yes.
that makes this book so unput-downable. you know?
I know what you mean. It's that tone, like she's just talking to you, simple, but
But so tense, packed with emotion.
like she's whispering the story right in your ear.
Yeah. And the structure, it's like perfectly designed to keep you hooked.
Short chapters, cliffhangers everywhere.
And the way she gives you just enough those little clues, it's like a puzzle you have to solve.
Her pacing is amazing. She builds the tension, builds it, and then
Releases it, yeah, with some shocking scene or a twist.
it's like a roller coaster for your brain.
And it's dark, right?
Yeah.
We're talking manipulation, gaslighting, revenge.
Yeah.
But then there's this. Yes, it's subtle, but it's there. It keeps it from being too heavy.
Like a little wink from the author, a reminder that even in this mess, there's still some absurdity.
Yeah, it makes the characters feel more human. You can almost relate to them.
Even when they're doing awful things.
It's like even in the darkest stories, there's still some light, some strangeness that reflects how complicated people are.
Speaking of the characters, I think it's worth saying The Housemaid isn't just about plot.
It's them, the characters, that really bring it to life.
McFadden gives us these flawed people. They're messed up. It's so interesting.
Even Nina, she's manipulative, scary even, but you almost feel for her sometimes.
Yeah, like you understand her pain, the desperation behind what she does.
Doesn't excuse it, but you get it.
That's what makes a character well written, that empathy, even for the bad guys.
Makes the story hit harder,
Yeah.
for sure. So as we wrap up, I got to ask, that idea of the perfect life facade,
Yeah.
do you think those families, the ones that seem to have it all, are always hiding something darker?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's going on behind closed doors?
And how does the housemaid reflect what we're worried about now?
Like privacy, being watched, feeling unsafe, even in your own home.
Makes you think, what would you have done in Millie's shoes?
Risked everything for revenge or found a different way?
Those questions, they stay with you even after you finish the book.
That's what makes a psychological thriller great.
The Housemaid has gotten people talking, so many different takes on it.
It's definitely a conversation starter.
We want to hear from you, your reactions, what you think it all means, anything that stuck with you.
Keep the discussion going. That's what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into The Housemaid with Freida McFadden.
We hope you keep exploring the world of thrillers. They really get you thinking.
Keep reading, keep questioning, and keep those pages turning. That's it for us. Until next time.